So you want to become a millionaire through real estate. That is great. And it's one of the fastest ways, if you do it correctly, to go from being dead broke to a millionaire. And why do I say fastest? I really don't mean fastest, but one of the fastest, most guaranteed ways to do that. I only say this because there's really only two ways for you to go from zero, dead broke, to being a millionaire in your lifetime that are super guaranteed and super easy to do. The first is just putting $500 every single month into an S&P 500 index or mutual fund and doing that in a Roth IRA for about 42 years until you turn 65 from the age of like 23 when you graduate college. And by then you're going to have about $1 to $2 million in that account that's completely tax-free. It's a pretty guaranteed way to become a millionaire, which is great. That's awesome. You've done what most people will never do in their lifetimes. Now, the second way, it's a bit faster and it's more guaranteed, and that's through real estate. And the reason why it's faster is for a couple of reasons. It's because to get into real estate, you get a certain skill set that is very rare, and if you leverage it, will pay you a lot of money. The second thing is, I used the word earlier, but leverage. You can use leverage to leverage your money. Unless you're using margins in the stock market, which is where they'll essentially give you a loan, that's a bet on the market, you can't leverage your money the same way than you can in real estate. If you do a conventional loan with 20% down on a $100,000 property, it's going to cost you $20,000 to buy $100K. But now you control $100,000 of real estate. That's $80,000 that, of course, you have the note on, but it's money that you can control. If you fix up the property and create equity in it and get reappraised for $120,000 or $150,000, now you have an extra $20,000 to $50,000 in the property. You're up to $40,000 to $70,000 of equity in a property that you bought for $100,000. And on top of that, when the property appreciates, of that $100,000, you don't only get appreciation on your 20, but you get on the full 100. So if the real estate market goes up 3%, which is average, but what we have found in most states in the last 10 years, real estate has been going up between 5 and 10%, which if it goes up 5%, that's $5,000 of equity you made, giving you an ROI of 25% on your initial investment of $20,000. Is the stock market going to give you 25% return year over year? Not if you're buying index funds, it's not, unless you bought them at the very bottom of COVID, which is the only time you could have made really 25% back on your return in 1 year off of buying an index fund. And it's extremely rare. Plus, timing the market never really works out. Time in the market always does. And what I'm trying to illustrate here is the fact that you can leverage your money in real estate. You can buy 4 properties over the next 10 years with an average home price of $250,000 that will not only cover the mortgage, but provide you cash flow of $200 to $400 a month, which is $2,000 to over $4,000 a year in cash flow into your pocket. If you bought 4 of those over the next 10 years, you're making almost an extra $1,000 a month from your cash flow, from your rental properties, plus appreciation of 3 to 5% on every single property, plus the principal down payment of the renter paying down the mortgage, plus you get tax deductions where you can depreciate your loan from your taxes over the next 27 years, ballpark, depending on the code and how you do it. And by the time you're 50, if you did this between 20 and 30, really by the time you're 60, you have 4 properties that have each doubled in value. You have $2 million in real estate. They've at least doubled, figuring in a 3% appreciation rate. And you have $2 million, plus you have properties that if you didn't raise the rents once, are paying you about $1,000 a month to $1,600 in cash flow. And if you look at rent prices, they've more than doubled over the last 25 years. So when you look at real estate, it is an extremely powerful tool. And that's only if you buy 4 properties. That is buying 1 property every 2.5 years over a 10-year period. And looking at the example where we buy 4 homes for $250,000 at 20% down, you're talking $25,000 ballpark. Of course, you have closing costs and some other things that do go into it, but coming up with $25,000 every 2.5 years is only, you're only having to save $10,000 a year on average, which can be entirely doable if you have a slightly above paying average job. So if you get a job in coding like tech or engineering or the healthcare industry and can somehow make 6 figures a year, this is totally doable for you. Plus, what's really powerful with real estate, let's say you buy your first home that's a rental property and you go, hey, that's great, and you fix it up and you do create that extra $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 of equity in the home by fixing it up and creating that value. You can then go get the home reappraised and take that money back out of the home. That gives you an extra $10, $15, $20, $30, $50,000 that you can go buy another home with. And you can do that every single year. And on top of that, it gives you more cash flow. So by the time you're 40, you have 100 homes under your belt, and you have enough cash flow that you can retire from your job and spend time with your family and just run your real estate business as an investor. And there's all kinds of opportunities in real estate, and that is why it is so powerful. There is everything ranging from commercial real estate with 35% down and triple net leases where you don't have to pay the property taxes on it and the owners deal with the toilets in it, to residential properties and single family homes, all the way to storage units. The opportunities are completely endless, and I guarantee you there is something out there for you if you do want to invest in real estate and become a millionaire through real estate. It is an extremely lucrative opportunity, and honestly, for anyone who wants a long-term sustainable career path, I honestly recommend you look into it because there's tons of opportunities there, and it might be better for you than investing in the stock market. Now, granted, if you love your job, if you're passionate about your job, investing in the stock market might be the best way for you to go. It's not going to necessarily provide you with the same monthly cash flow. It's not going to necessarily provide you with enough for you to retire by the age 30 or by age 40. But it will give you a great retirement. And depending on your job, if you can up your income enough, you can retire at a young age in the stock market. You just have to be able to live within the 4% rule. So it's up to you to research your own financial future and decide what you want to do to achieve your financial freedom. So thank you for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me rank better in the algorithm. Also, make sure to like the video as well. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.